Excellent. Right, finally. So I've had to drop the latency a bit, so there's a slight delay. Not to worry, it's not too bad. Okay, I think I'll just play the track. Firstly, no, we need to go to the machine. Okay, machine, where is it? Right, the plan is, well, I'll show you the plan. I need to just get some things moving in that machine. Alright, I'm back. Can you hear me? Right, good. So we're going to do try and flick it this way, can't I? Right, okay. You can hear me now though, yeah? Alright, so I've done it a slightly different way. So I've got the alright, there we go. Okay, so all we're doing, God, it's chaos today. Not to worry. Right, so all I was saying is that, you know, the sketchbook and the machine is looking really, really healthy, okay? You know, we've been on about a month. And, yeah, the machine actually has a health, believe it or not. You got to keep it healthy. So we've got all of these in the sketchbook. We've got all of these splurges. And what I was saying is just, you know, sketchbook and splurge, it's the best sample library you could have, really. You know, if you really don't have any ideas, you can always go get a splurge. And I know, like, one good thing is, you know, if you really didn't have any ideas, and it was an emergency, I could just go through. Maybe go to the sketchbook, and when I look down things here, I know these are all bookmarked, so it's saying wasn't a bad idea. I was half interested, I just didn't want to work on those ideas at the time. So I know there's something there. That's not to say that the things that don't have a bad bookmark are rubbish ideas. Everything has some sort of value. There could be some drums in here, there could be a lead, there could be a chord progression. As for the splurge, again, that they're reliant on listening sessions, which we haven't done this week, I don't think. So there's lots of stuff there to move on, but potentially, because I've been splurging, no attention's been given to discovery, draft or done. So we do need to start done's okay. So what we need to do is make some room, so I'm thinking about moving some stuff on. So I know that Lala here has had a done session, but I've moved it back into draft for a reason, so I need to check that out, and then if I can move that on, that means I've only got 2 in draft, which means then I can go and have a look in discovery and see what I want to work on there. It might end up actually that I move stuff out of discovery into the sketchbook. Either way, it's still movement, and sometimes, you know, it can be just as valuable to just listen to something, reevaluate, realise that you don't have to do a discovery session and it can move on, or find something in done that needs to go to sketchbook and then something in draft that needs to go to done. It's all moving you forward, because what we're doing here is the machine is capturing literally 100% of everything I do creatively. There's no worries, you know. And I think Lala, when I get it up, has got some sort of a list. Some things were done. Automate filter verse bass like Kowloon, right? That's that's a good track, that by Braxton's. Yeah. Now, the machine, all the machine is, right, is it's just a container, isn't it? It's what we do with the containers that's like the important bit. Right, we're back to live. Okay, let's have a quick listen. Yeah, it is. Okay. So job 1, there's something going on with, according to my list, one of the notes on the leads. And it's the end note. Is it? So it's probably alright. Right, Daz. So we're just moving some tracks on in the machine. Right, so that melody's fine. That's good. Right, let's move to the bass. Right, so I think the best thing to do here, right, we're gonna group this. Okay, and we're going to do something with this. Chili, how you doing? Okay, next job. So hopefully this won't crash when I do this. But I need to move something over from another project. Let's have a look. Right, here we go. Brilliant. It's worked. This is like one of the sounds I use in a lot of the productions I do. I'll see if it works here. So I'm going to take the effects off. Okay, are we in? E minor. Tell you what, we can sharpen the attack up on that. There we go. Okay. Next job. Done that. Done that. I mean, to be fair, the list I've made isn't that great. I've dashed it off, and I've put things like add a string for tension, but not not actually being specific of where the thing goes. So I don't know if it's from a discovery list that. So we'll put a high string on it, I suppose. Give it a go. Definitely want to go there. It's a bit better on that section. Yeah, I always trust whatever on it, yeah. From previous judgment, absolutely. Because it came from a phase of analysis, didn't it? Because the editor was allowed into the room. So, yes, so it does come from a very, a reliable place. And remember, of course, I've got, with the rules of the machine, what's actually happening is we're doing the listening outside of the studio, and we're doing it, as a minimum of 3 days from when we last worked on the project. So we're able to have, a decent objective opinion on what we're doing. So absolutely, I trust that. It's not going to work, is it? Right. Okay, that's sorted. However, if other ideas like moving that bass to there spring to mind, then I'm going to do it. Alright, tension string. Let's get that. Let's see what we've got. Whilst the computer has a think. Yep, that's sounding decent. Okay, I need some sort of an impact. Not that though. It's the same one, isn't it? Not that. None of those. Oh, okay. That one there. Okay. Well, this came off a really old channel strip, this one. Right, let's get this one out. switch to just the sub. Right, let's just check the machine. Done the high string, done the electric piano. Not doing a second melody, but I am going to mess about with some vocals. Alright. Yeah, they're great, and it's nice just putting them in on the, starting from the second chorus. Just managing windows here.
Body, yeah, yeah. Na na na. Na yeah 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 ooh yeah yeah ooh.
it goes. Right, and just duplicate that a second.
Fire.
Take that effect off. Alright, got some new stuff. Let's check it out.
Slow down, makes me drive. Don't stop, don't stop, yeah, let me set you free, let me drive makes me
What do I do with all of these songs? Right, so they end up in one or two places. 3 places, potentially. One is McRocklin and Hutch. 2 is Dreamstream. And 3 is... I'm toying with the idea of a bit of synthwave label whoring. So if I mean, like when I did like dance music, what I would do is I would pick a label and then absolutely launch tons of songs at it till I got on it. And you know, if you have like, if you start prolifically releasing material that's consistently good, it really does get you places. Like when I was doing dance music, I was talking about this, the heartbreaking story with the publishers, but just by consistently releasing material, because you're collecting the data at the end and it's improving your process all the time, you just get better and better, and eventually you'll just get there and they'll sign it. And that's how I ended up getting on Armada and various other labels, and then you build a relationship up from there, which is good. So synthwave is a very sort of small area, and obviously there's a new retro wave label. So with McRocklin and Hutch, and sort of potentially what I could be doing, you know, would be nice just to have a load of tracks in the pipeline just to launch at them, you know, which is part of the reason I'm kind of looking at songs. You know, a verse chorus type thing, you know, and then a bit of a guitar solo, because like the song kind of stuff, when you've got like vocals, that tends to do really, really well outside of the instrumental market, doesn't it? Because, you know, everybody wants a tune, don't they, that they can sing along to. So there's three sort of things, yeah, but a lot of the stuff just like will end up on Dreamstream, or in lives, or, you know, it's there to do whatever I want, or to be pulled apart and repurposed. And right. Okay. So I think we're getting there. I found a track. I should load it. I loaded into this project. I did find a track with my other half singing that we did like 20 years ago. When we were very young, probably even longer. I was in my early 20s. Do you want to hear one of my very early bedroom productions? Promise not to laugh. Let's see. Okay. Let's load it. It's here somewhere. Music drive. Oh, here it is. Oh, odd. Okay. I hope hopefully this isn't one of the earlier versions. Okay. So remember, this was recorded in my bedroom, right? Okay. All the MIDI was running live. I was using a pod. You know, the kidney-shaped ones for the guitars. And here we go. So enjoy. I'll just tell you what, I'll just switch off all of that. Easy. This was done in 90, well, when the pod first came out, so I mean it'd be 2000.
You are making me rebel by myself. I don't need anybody's help to feel a rage inside of me. You are making me rebel by myself, so I go forth with stealth and rebel at what I see. 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 Are we ghosts in a machine?
there you go. What do you think? Shall I reactivate the vocalist? So, right, where are we up to? Okay. Yeah, quite good singing. She writes good songs. Excellent, thanks, Des. Cool. So there you go. But you know, I think when I listen to that back now, it's like what I'm doing now, isn't it? Really weird. It's the components of what I'm doing with synthwave are there. You know, it's got the leads, it's got funny squelchy stuff going on, there's synths. No, that's not me singing. That's my it's definitely not me singing. That's Sharon. Like, we did alright, I'll tell you what. So our management dropped loads of tracks, right, that I thought was great. Right, so this is the stuff I really wanted to do. Right, see what you think of this. Is that right?
Turning around, switch it up to 11. Here comes your stupid guitar. Let's make some noise. 'Cause all the freaks are here. As mad as my hair is, this is as good as it gets. At least I might go home with neck damage. Snug as a bug in a circle of creeps. Travel much to the beat. In the car wash there is just no garage. 'Cause all the freaks are here. All the freaks are here.
Yeah.
All the freaks are here. All the freaks are here. Let's make some noise.
Yeah. So that track, right? Yeah. Mid-90s. You know that that track was made on an S2000 sampler. Had a tiny little window. Actually, no, it did have an editor, if I remember. Yes, I had a SCSI into the computer, so it wasn't as bad as that. Yeah, all the freaks are here. Right, so I think with this, I think we can now. There's some. What's going on here? better. Right, so finally we can now go to the machine and move that track. Right. Right, okay, so and that goes there. Boom. 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, yeah, no. No, I mean there it is. It's in done and it's ready for guitars. It's, you know, very likely get released that. Yeah, I mean, it's a very common thing, isn't it, for people to spend a long, long time on productions, but it's completely unnecessary. Once you work on, you know, firstly, the sort of mindset, I mean, there's so much stuff, you know, you can do just to get going without out the machine, you know, like some of my biggest, like, jumps when I first started getting coached were just made through, you know, not necessarily having a system, but actually the mindset approach. I don't know if you picked up one thing you'll probably notice when I'm producing is I don't do very many second guessing. I tend to do something and move on, do something and move on. I tend to just make the decision once and then off I go. And that on its own just, you know, saves loads of time. But you have to learn to just trust your judgment. But I mean, you know, back then, because I could, you know, I worked on the mindset, I could produce quite quickly, but I was only working in series. I was starting a song and finishing a song, and if I started something, I don't really want to work on this. I used to just beat it into submission so I could have it done, which was completely unnecessary. So what was actually missing was the system being able to capture all the ideas so they didn't go to waste. So if you don't have anything like this, you just end up with lots of ideas on your hard drive, and it's very difficult to go back to them, even if you've got MP3s catalogued and things like that. You don't really know what's been going on. You can't really track them at what creative process that they've actually been in, you know. Whereas, you know, if I put that, if I go, I'm not working on that, and it's in the sketchbook, and it's got these labels on, and I can see that that's been into a drafting session. When I quickly glance through here and I need a track quickly to finish, you know, it's a candidate, isn't it? So that's what we're doing there. Right. So does anybody want to ask me anything? Yeah. Well, firstly, the automatic music making machine. If you want to do this automatic music making machine, what I will be doing is I will be doing lessons on it. So it's something you can come to me and lessons. I say coaching really. and you can come for coaching, and I will teach you this system and sort out all of your problems and do the walk from beginning to end multiple times of releases as we go through the machine. But something like this should sort out your workflow. So that's the first thing. But the overview of this is, yeah, I will. But before we kind of get, you see what the plan is, right, Carl does, is obviously we've got the coaching gym coming up, so you'll be able to kind of talk to me. So that'll be a brief sort of getting used to the vibe, you know, because I'm not into sort of glamorous plugins and stuff like that and talking like tech much. This is like the serious kind of getting stuff done. So the time you'd come to me is really because this is it. I want to do something with my music and I want to release it. You know, I want to get it somewhere, and I want to try and kind of make music, you know, my life. I want original music to be the thing. So that's why you would kind of come for this sort of thing. So we've got the kind of the coaching gym kind of thing where you can just come to me with any sort of musical issue you've got, problems, and then we'll work them out. And that'll be live, so if there are other people there, we'll be talking about it. And then the other thing I need to do is I need to do a workshop like I did last year, which is going to be a workshop based on you defining what it is you want to do with your music, and then we look at some sort of action plan. So once you know what it is you want to do, then that's something to focus on, and we can work with that. And then when you come to doing the music, when you come to coaching with me, and we do the automatic music make machine, everything's absolutely focused on this goal. One of the problems people have is that I mean, it's called, what's it called? Zones of experience, yeah. And there's different levels, right? And at the top level of this, it's neuroscience. It's this anyway. At the top level of it is our actual connection with the world, like what we're actually trying to do. So for me, you know, I'm connecting with the world. I'm releasing music to bring a bit of joy. Okay, I'm, you know, there's my authentic core experience, which is that thing. So, and that's like taking the listener from isolation to aspiration, and hopefully to action. So that's what my music's doing when I connect with the world. But when we go down the levels, right, what you'll find is one of them is skills. And what stops people is they feel that they don't actually have enough skills to actually move on, to make that actual connection. And you end up lost in the skill set, right? And you never get out of it. So you'll see this, I mean, I've been through this loads of times, especially with guitar. When I was younger, and eventually I just had to get through it. And that was like just really stupid things, like being able to play groups of 4, 3 notes per string, fucking on every scale, in every key, up and down the fretboard, and I wasn't ready. Completely abstract, completely useless. Just like, what on earth musical anything was I getting from that? I only needed one group of 4 in the right place, didn't I? Yeah. So people get stuck in that, you know, and then you get comfortable with that, and then you're perfecting that thing. And what your brain tells you is, I mean, all of the time when we think about, when you think of how your brain is, we have the prefrontal cortex, which is the creative kind of thinking brain, and we have our prehistoric brain. But in the prefrontal cortex, there's another part of it. They call it, what is it in Buddhism? You have, sorry if I'm rambling here, because this is going right back to the beginning of like when I was getting coached. So you have, I mean, the guy who coached me likened it to a mahout, right, which is a Indian who rides a wild elephant. So you've got your brain, the wild elephant brain, which is the old brain, and you've got the mahout who controls it. Okay, and there's always this kind of struggle, and what your brain's trying to do is, when you try and get out of this skill set and you start thinking about, I'm going to release music and I'm going to move my life forward, you're going out into the unknown. You're putting music out there in front of people who may or may not be hostile. So it invokes a fight or flight response, and that's your prehistoric brain kicking in there, because what that was designed to do, the elephant, was to protect you in the olden days. So let's say, in the Serengeti plains, when we're throwing spears about, there might have been a cave, right, which had a bear that somebody got eaten in because they went the wrong way, okay, and your brain remembers that fear and it protects you by don't going in there. And that instinct's still with us. And when you're releasing music, I don't get this anymore, but as we go through the what you'll find is as you go through the divergent phase and we get to the convergent phase and you're nearly getting finished and it's going to be time to release it, the process sometimes slows down because the fear's kicking in and the perfection mindset happens, which a lot of people finish music and just not move it because they think it's not ready, but they don't know why it's not ready. But it's the fear thing, so we've got to be very mindful of that. So yes, so a lot of people you'll find will be stuck on the skill set. So the objective there is to kind of move them to something else to get traction, and there's various different areas, and we're moving up this ladder to get to your connection. But if we know what the connection is up here, what you want to do with your music, then it's easier, isn't it? We just have to work a route out. But the thing is, before all of this, back in the day with Sharon and Rebel and all those tracks that we were doing, I remember Kaneki getting a record deal, and I was going, how did they get signed? Because we're all like, well, me, I'm like a muso. I've sat practicing scales all day long, sign me. But the fact of the matter is they were just far more focused on what really counted, and what really counted wasn't the skill focus. There's all these other areas, isn't there? So for a start, you've got your environment, you've got habits, but you've got decision making, insight and analysis. We've got boredom that you have to get over, and you've got, for them, community. They really understood what their audience is, and they could connect with that. And also fear. So the fear thing's back to the practice thing, and being comfortable in that zone and then not actually moving on. But it's all sorted, because we can fix that. So and it's amazing, we're all just the same. It's like we're like computers. We have the same operating system, and everybody has these similar problems. Some people don't want to address them because they don't want to move on. They want to just sit and get a plug in at the weekend and faff about with it and do stuff, Call it's everybody who wants to release music. But once you get prolific at writing and you've got a machine behind you and you know what your brain's doing, there's no stopping you. You can make up for all the years and years, if you've been procrastinating and stuff and just sitting there. And it's awful actually, because I spent so after all the band kind of thing, and then I did the whole frigging experimental art thing, which was good. It was just different levels of frustration, to be honest, and I was wanting just be able to be creatively free and just do stuff and not have any of this friction. And fundamentally I was just like in bad mood. I was like awful. I was like, I'm an artist, that frustration. I don't understand, nobody understands me, I'm trying to create something. And that's it's just shit. Now I've done something, I can see what I've done, it's in front of me on a machine, right? And I'll be going to work today, luckily, to do more music, but it isn't about me, it's about other people. And I'm ready for that. I'm happy because I've done my thing, and I know I'm moving forward, and I don't have to do this all the time because I can just shrink it into a small thing. It justifies me doing practice. I'm getting data off this. I know kind of what areas I want to practice on guitar that'll actually feed into this focus. Absolutely everything's focusing into this thing. What I'm not going to do is like what I would do before, is start writing indie music, right, but then practice jazz fusion. because I had to be good at jazz fusion for absolutely no reason. But if you can do one, you can do loads. It doesn't stop there. You know. And that's the other thing is, like, when you start the skill thing, I need to do jazz, I need to do country, I need to do rock, I need to do, you know. No, you need to pick one. You need to pick one and be really unique at it. That's what you need to do. So we'll go through all of these things. Not that I totally regret it. When I was younger, it was fine. It was just, you know, and then I'd think, oh, well, what if I did a guitar solo album? I could have a jazz song, a country song, a rock, and a really heavy song. And I can guarantee they would all be average. The jazz one would be, like, unbearable, but it would prove that I have got some average jazz skills. And then the rock one would probably be really good. But actually, it could have been better if I didn't waste as much time on the jazz shit. You know. So, and then this comes back to this other thing, which you see in producers. Yes, one song done. So now, because then you have this, the levels of value, you know, so we have, and you could apply this to guitar players, I suppose. But certainly for producers, okay? So, there's different levels of what your value could potentially be, right? In monetary terms. And the first one, which is the least value, is the person who generalizes. So that might be somebody who does lots of pop, like, right, okay, hip hop's really in at the minute. I'm gonna write some pop music now, right? What do I need? And you get a pop song, and you just put it up in your in your door, and then you start copying it, change a few chords, done, bash. Right, what's next? Song for Robbie Williams. Well, I wrote some lyrics on a beer mat. What's a Robbie Williams song? Right, okay, acoustic guitar, live drums. Right, there's another average Robbie Williams song, done. Right, and they just do this, and then so you've got, like, no value because you're not specialising in anything. You're just regurgitating literally what's there because it did well, and you think that you might get a chance. Not that I've ever done that. Okay, next level is somebody who specialises. Okay, so the specialiser is somebody who goes, right, I am drum and bass. Okay, and then you'd write lots of stuff in drum and bass, and you get quite good at the drum and bass. You like Robbie Williams, nothing wrong with Robbie. I'd let him on a song, it'd be alright, but it'd have to be my style, wouldn't it? But that's how things happen. They hear something on the underground that is unique, and they go, oh, that's really good. We need a vibe like that. You know, it's like this stuff then trickles into the mainstream, doesn't it? Which we've seen with synthwave. So yes, and then so you'll have the guy who specialises, so the value goes up. And then you'll have people who so you might when you specialize, you know, when you specialize, and you might do something like, you know, you might tweak a snare drum, you know, and that might be the thing that, oh right, yeah, like you'd hear, I don't know, back in the day, trance music turned into trance 2.0 because it kind of crossed into progressive house. So the tempo was a bit slower. It was like kind of these big chord things. Or you might do house music, put a dubstep snare on it. It could be something small like that, but it's just, that's the thing you noted for, that one little change. And then, what's the next one? A transformer. So I suppose Skrillex would be a transformer. So that's somebody who is specialised, takes a whole genre and then completely puts it on its upside down and goes there. And obviously the value goes much, much higher when that happens, you know, and people all jump on it. And you look at what he did with dubstep. And then the last level, I might have missed one out, but then the last one I know is transcending, which is what I try and do. And transcending is where you have a core style, uniqueness, and you try and port that into any other genre. So whatever you do, ideally this would be going to the extreme. If I did jazz now, it would sound, you'd know it was me, yeah. And I think we'll have, you'll have producers like Calvin Harrison, who's probably quite good at that, because he'll do other genres, yet you know that it's him producing it. So there's a core identity there, and it doesn't matter what the production is, you still hear that artist. And that's the levels, that's the levels what you got to get up to, and that made me see what I needed to do, and being unique. And sometimes it can be quite easy because synthwave is a small area, and synthwave shred is you start kind of creating your own sort of shred wave, which I think the actual coining that term probably is probably from me and Thomas. I don't know if like anybody else has said that, but certainly the guitar meeting electronic music. You see, that was the problem that initially I had when we started doing synthwave, was how to get, because a lot of electronic music to me, you have guitar in it, and the guitar doesn't quite kind of gel onto the music. It's like a bit inappropriate, like sometimes the house music and rock doesn't quite go, and you have to fiddle with it. And I know that back in the day when you've heard Rebel and things like that, getting electronic music to fit with live instruments was always a challenge, to get them to sit right and to feel together. And putting synthwave together and the guitars really worked lovely. So there wasn't too much work to do there to get it to gel, and it just kind of happened. Because you need everything to sound appropriate with each other, and that's, if this is making any sense, that's a challenge. Alright, Des used to play bass in a Robbie Williams song. Okay, cool. I have a friend who heard him and said, "How's this guy famous?" Well, yeah, it works for us. Robbie Williams. Because Robbie Williams, his connection to the world was, I want to be famous, and then probably went for lots of auditions, and then went into a boy band, take that, and then it kind of just fell into other things through connections. And also because he does, I suppose, he is quite unique in his voice and stuff. And yeah, he probably just fell drunk through the whole thing at the time. I know, I'll do a solo project. Bang. Next thing, everybody gets around him. Okay. I think a lot of decisions will have been made for him. Charisma, lots of it, he has that, yeah. So there we have it. So that was a good final discussion, wasn't it? So yes, guys, so if you're wanting coaching at the end of this mission in January, the coaching will be available. I'm going to make a time in my schedule to do a couple of coaching sessions with people. And it'll be a wonderful thing. Yeah. No, it's good talking about it. Like a lot of the stuff I forget. You know. I need to make it affordable, Carl, don't I? That's the thing. Reasonable. So we'll discuss that later on down the line. I haven't fully come up with a costing yet. But I will have by January. Possibly a little bit more than what you pay. A bit more than a guitar lesson, I would imagine. But I'm going to try and keep the costs down. But what I will say is, if you follow what we're doing in the coaching, it's all going to happen. You're going to have tracks. you're going to have ammunition to launch at the world, you know, and what you get back from this will be in dividends. You know, for me, because I could do music, I could focus on other areas of my life. So generally, I'm a nicer person to be around, but also, like what I learned here applied to my job, which again, luckily for me, because I do like it, is music. But then I just shot up through the ranks like in no time at all. You know, and you know, I get a good wage. And I'm able to do a lot of that kind of work as well, and do it in a way that's quite easy and manageable, even though it's extremely challenging. But I'm always in the right headspace, because I get up in the morning, I do my music, come in at night, do a little bit more. There's always jobs there to do on the machine. And that is it for today, I think. So that's been great, hasn't it? So I'm going to have to shoot off now. And it will be the same time tomorrow morning. Alright. Okay. Bye. Yeah, the coaching available for... I'm thinking about February. Yeah, about February. Alright then. Cool. See you. Bye.